Hello there, and welcome to NADA 2025 Live. The snow is subsiding, so it's all good. So we're here doing a live interview with Danny here from ZipDeal. So Danny, maybe you can talk us a little bit about ZipDeal. What's ZipDeal all about? And how was your trip down to New Orleans, Louisiana?
You know, I think I was one of the fortunate ones. My flight was delayed about an hour, but we were fortunate. We got here without much incident. So,
Wow, so only 1 hour.
yeah.
So it's like less than like the normal 45-minute run. You actually got some walking time in. Is that what?
That's it. I did the walking time in the airport. It's about the only time I get my walking in.
Oh, okay. So you do like the normal, say 2,000 steps, then you got 10,000 this time.
That's it. Then I need to take a break.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
So they even got you some beverages on the way. Is that what happens?
Yeah. I had the guy set up at the table giving me Gatorade on the way.
Oh, Gatorade.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about your story in the car business, how you got into ZipDeal, and what's ZipDeal all about?
Yeah. So until about 4.5 years ago, I spent the previous 40 years inside the walls of dealerships, starting out washing cars, worked my way through, tried to find the person with a nice watch and get their job, and worked my way into platform director, and eventually got to buy some dealerships. So went from one end to the other, did every position in the dealership you can do.
Right.
And then 4.5 years ago, we built a software company, and now we are on the other side of the table, creating solutions for car dealerships, and that's how ZipDeal was born.
Fantastic. So there's obviously been a lot of change over the last, let's say, 5 years, maybe 10 years when you look at NDA, where things have went from sort of more stuff to put in car dealers to more technology.
Right.
And obviously working with people in process. What have you seen happen over the last, say, 18 to 24 months with ZipDeal that maybe, you expected, or maybe, you feel is a game changer for your company?
Yeah. I feel like coming from where I did and going into software, nothing is like I expected. I mean, I think the more mistakes we make, the more we learn, the better we get.
Right.
And so we learned pretty early on, we tried to be too tricky and too concrete on our solutions. And we kind of shifted our focus early to create a hub that would receive and be able to plug in any new technology. So to commit so heavily monetarily or through people early on specific technologies, you're really setting yourself up for technology to shift.
Right.
And now you're a little irrelevant. So our software is kind of hub and foundational based, and other technologies, other ideas plug into it.
Right.
And so that's what we've seen. We don't want to, AI, for an example, the most popular thing that anyone's talking about at this year's conference.
Right.
It's great, but it's in its infancy.
Right.
What we know of AI now is not going to even resemble what we know in 6 months. So why go headstrong into the way it's built now? You've got to do the Wayne Gretzky, and you got to skate to where the puck's going to be. And so I think from a company, it's the wise thing for us to do as well. But you asked what ZipDeal is, which probably would be natural for me to tell you. It makes just make more sense. But so ZipDeal, we're basically a mobile-based experiential platform that keeps customers at the dealership engaged during the F&I wait.
Oh, okay. So it works with one of these devices?
Yes. And we attacked really, I think, the most irritating part of the sales process. Everything goes great. Everything goes great. Most booths here have something to do with getting people into the dealership.
Right.
But after they say yes, and euphoria goes from, yay, I bought a car, to get me the hell out of here. What's taken so long? CSI drops, profits can drop, customers can blow out or shop or call their credit union. Not a lot of good things happen if they're sitting around your dealership for what the national average is 44 minutes on the F&I wait. We just built a platform that the customer does on their own phone that introduces them to the leadership, introduces them to the service department, sets their first service appointment, asks them their favorite radio station so the dealership can program them in, the dealership app, the OEM app, the collision center. They can look at accessories. They'll see some pre-F&I videos, some informational videos. It's really just a collection of modules, as we call them. We have over 50 modules available for dealerships, because all dealerships operate differently. But if there are 15 or 20 things that in the past that dealership has assigned to salespeople. Well, there's a newsflash for you, Ian. Salespeople don't always do what they're supposed to do.
Really?
Have you heard that rumor?
So what you're telling me is if you ask a salesman to do 2 or 3 things, they might miss one of those things. Is that what you're saying?
That's the rumor I've been hearing. Yeah.
So they're not as detail-oriented as we expect them to be?
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? And over the last 10, 15 years, you know this.
Yeah.
We've really, as an industry, asked our salespeople to do more and more and more and more. But we're hiring kind of a less and less experienced type of salesperson. So that's just a bad recipe. Let's hire less experienced people and ask them to do more. They want to sell the car. They're afraid to mess up that beautiful sale, as Tommy Boy put it. In, you know, so they just don't. They're not comfortable being a tech expert and a service expert and a reputation management expert and an app expert.
Yes.
So we take the heavy lifting off the salesperson. So at a dealership, Ian, you bought a Camry from me, and you normally it's, hey, I'm going to go get your car ready, and you're going to talk to finance in an hour. Why don't you sit here and be uncomfortable for an hour, and let's have repeated conversations about your favorite sports team, and keep looking at our watch. Like that's.
Are we done yet?
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Sadly, that's the F&I wait. But instead, I say, great, I'm going to go get your car ready, get your paperwork to F&I. In the meanwhile, I just texted you a link. It's kind of an experience to get to know us better. Let you personalize your experience. And best of all, it's going to speed this whole thing up. So if you'll look at that and go through it, I'll be back momentarily. Then you look at your phone and open it up. Well, there's a greeting from the dealer that says, hey, thanks for buying a car from us. Welcome to the family. That virtual face-to-face thank you. Every dealer in the country wishes they could have a seat at the table with every single customer. So, so there's that. Then it's, hey, let's get your favorite radio stations plugged in. Here's a video tour of our service department. And all these cool things that ZipDeal kind of gets that person doing owner things, solidifying that commitment, and best of all, keeping them actively engaged as a participant in their own delivery while they're waiting.